Hey everyone, I just made it out of the storm drain after being caught down there during the rain, but I am walking to Graham Woods right now to do a bit more recording, another video. So we've already been in Graham Woods once. There's a cliff there I almost fell off when I was peeing back when I was a student. This story's in a different video. And there's a storm pipe we went down out in those woods. But there's also trails out there and there's like a river and cool stuff. So I still got plastic bags. I'm going to take my shoes off, put them in the bags, and hop down into those woods. Graham Woods, by the way, is it's sort of right in the middle of campus. Lots of stray and feral. Ooh, can you see? Oh, I think you just caught a glimpse of it. There's a bunch of stray and feral cats that live out there, and kittens. You can find feral kittens out there. Unfortunately, they don't let you pet them. They are feral. Probably if you feed them tuna fish, they might let you pet them. But it's cool. There's lots of animals out there. The first time I explored, I found like a bag hanging from a tree, and inside the bag was what I now know to be a crack pipe. I sort of just tossed it away. I didn't know what it was at the time. I thought it must be some drug paraphernalia. But for the most part, I don't think there's much bad stuff that goes on out there. The woods are basically one big sinkhole. So the land around it is all hilly, and then the woods are all like a drop down. You have to climb down into them. So they're wet. Not a good place for fires if you're having bonfires. Not a great place for hiking, honestly, unless you like a bit of an adventure, because the trails are limited and you will need to bushwhack quite a bit. But if you do like a bit of exploration and stuff, it's a cool place to walk, I guess. And here we are. This car's going by. We are right near, it used to be the baseball stadium, I think. Maybe it's basketball or something. I never followed sports. Path. And this one, you really should follow the sign. It says don't use it after dark, and ooh, this tree may be a black cherry. I'm going to pull a leaf off, crush it up, and have a smell. Yes, it is. All right, so if you see this tree, sort of dark, shiny leaves, take one off, crush it up, smell it. It smells like cherry and almonds, and it's a nice smell. Anyway, this path has some weird wooden steps going down. Then there's a lot of terrain. There's fallen trees. There's roots and stuff you could trip over. So don't come out here after dark unless you have a good flashlight, headlamp set up. See, I'm sort of dipping under and going over everything. I'm just sitting on this fallen tree because I'm already soaking wet from the tunnels. Ooh. But yeah, you got a little path here, and there should be like an interesting water feature this way if you go off trail a bit. Oh, and look at this. Look at that mushroom. That is a wild looking mushroom. And there's a few of them down here. So I don't know my mushroom. I know exactly like one kind of mushroom and what it is, and that is mushroom I'm not allowed to do. I can't discuss that on YouTube. But that's the one kind of mushroom I know because it's really obvious when you see it. But in general, if you're not like an expert and you're not with an expert on mushrooms, for God's sake, don't eat them. Lots of mushrooms that the edible ones have a look-alike or a counterpart that will literally kill you. Like it looks the same, but it is deadly poison. That includes psychedelic mushrooms. They have counterparts that are not psychedelic. They will just poison you and you'll die. So don't pick wild mushrooms unless you know what you're doing. Don't be that person who picks like an angel of death mushroom then, because it's never a good death either. It's like your liver fails after 3 days and there's no cure. Anyway, enough morbid stuff about mushrooms. I'm going to turn the camera. You can see this little cliff thing. And here we go. I am standing at sort of near the edge, and down there is some little clay cliffs covered in might be kudzu vine. It's some sort of plant like this. And down there we have rock falls and the start of the river. Now I'm still wearing my shoes. I sort of accepted that they are already wet. They'll get more wet. I'll try to stay out of the actual water though. So I'm going to get back up on the trail and we will keep going. All right, and they got some fencing out here. I don't know if it is erosion control or safety fences, or maybe just a fence to designate where construction workers are supposed to go. The fence is not even up connected on this one. So, here's the water feature I was talking about. You have vines and you have this weird, it's filled up with silt. That's why they're doing construction. Anyway, I'm going to work my way down the cliff to it and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's it's slippery. Still raining right now as we speak. So We have a pipe up here that's quite broken, has roots growing on it. Big old flowway there, but that's pretty cool actually. This is like something the hero of a movie has to do a pull-up on to get off a cliff. All the water is actually coming from below it over this layer of clay and is working its way down into this sort of trashy thing. I don't know what it is, but I know this looks like another storm drain I'm gonna end up exploring. So this looks like it's been built out of like sandbags made of concrete, just to protect all the clay. Then out there you have this, I remember this being here when I was a student. It's like erosion control stuff. It's not working very well, it seems like, but there's quite a lot of construction activity that was done in these woods. I don't think any of it is recent. All right, I'm going to get down on that shore and we'll keep filming. So what I said in the last video, assuming the last video I took is the one that came out before this, I haven't released anything yet. This shirt is awesome. I got it in Borneo. It's AIM Pro. It was like 10 bucks. I was submerged in water completely when I was in the storm drains just now. And this shirt is already like, it's not like chafing me anywhere even though it's wet. It's not quite dry yet, but I don't feel cold even though it's cold rain right now. I'm not chafed. So I don't know if this company is in America. I'm not sponsored by anyone, but get one of these shirts if you can. So I'm walking right now on this sort of beach area surrounded by these walls. I'm about to take a look inside here. There's another storm drain. Actually, I have my flashlight on me, not on. It's in my pocket. I'm going to take it out and have a little climb down there and we'll see what's inside. All right, I said we'd have a climb down there. Oh, there's water on my camera. I said we'd climb down there, but let me turn this. I'll leave it on. I'm gonna need it in a second. I'm not going to climb down it. First of all, it's narrow, but the real reason I will turn the camera around and show you. So we got our waterfall, and in this pipe I was going to climb into, it's all like just scum and there's lots of shards of glass in here, bottles. I don't know what that is. It looks like some sort of alcoholic stuff. And farther back there, it just looks like more of the same. I do not want to cut my knees up on broken shards of glass. I have my limits. I don't have any knee pads or pants that are quilted. So, ooh, my shoe's getting stuck in the mud, and now it's all wet. I'm not even going to be walking here. I'm going to take my shoes off and hold them in one hand as I do this. So give me a second, and I will see you after that. All right, my shoes are off. I didn't quite get it right. I managed to put a sock down into the sort of sandy water when I was taking it off. But I'm walking down this riverbank. Go turn the camera so you can see it better. There's some interesting stuff out here. We have our little construction, I don't know why I call it construction. It looks like the base of a castle or something over there. And there's a bit of trash in the water. Lots of rocks, lots of vines. It's a very, I see why they call you off the swamp. It's a very sort of viney, swampy little jungle rivers campus. And you have this thing, which I don't know what is in there. It looks like one of those little flotation devices they put out to block oil spills. They have measuring tape to measure how high the water goes up, and these two gates to, I guess, also help them with measuring. So down here, that's quite a deep pool. There are a few little raccoon tracks and just rain marks around on the ground. I'm going to climb around it. I don't want to. I might as well. I'm just going to step down there, see how deep it is. It's not too bad actually. Just halfway to my knees. And we need to start going through the little jungle area, which we will do. Alrighty, so we're going through here. There's lots of styrofoam. That stuff sort of never. Oh, I'm slipping. Look at that. That stuff never decays. Styrofoam will always be out here in the ecosystem. Like hundreds or 1,000 years from now, I believe. Lots of plastic, lots of trash. All that's going into the water too, unfortunately. Some of the woods on campus are pretty, but some of them are not. Some of them are not. It doesn't make you optimistic about humanity to see how we treat our environment. But anyway, we're at the actual river proper here. This goes right through the middle of Graham Woods, connects a bunch of places on campus. I'm going to walk this way, but I believe the cliff might be that way. Ooh, sharp rocks. And yeah, speaking of rocks, I'm coming up on sort of, oh, I'm stepping on some now. I'm coming up on like a big pile of rocks, like a jetty. And I'll have to climb over that. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see it better. And I'm hoping that these plants I'm walking past are not like they'll have like poison in them, like poison oak or whatever. I should know what plants are poisonous. I got a degree in forest management, but I sort of have forgotten a lot of my plant ID. So I know these plants. This is coral ardisia. It's bad, invasive. But here we go. We're at this rock jetty, and up there it looks like there's a waterfall. So I'm going to make my way over all these rocks and bricks and get out to that waterfall. I'm going to turn my phone off. I'm holding shoes in one hand. I should have left them at the start of the trail, but I didn't. So I'm going to have to like descend this route with my phone off. I need a hand for grip. So I just tossed my shoes over the little gap, and that gave me a hand, so it was a free hand, so it was easier to climb. But I'm remembering last time I did that, me and my brother were hiking in Indiana in the, I think, Kankakee River. It had a funny name with a bunch of K's in it. And we both tossed our shoes over this sort of shallow river so we wouldn't need to carry them across because it was slippery. And somehow both of us got our shoes in the water, which was disappointing. All right, so we're getting closer to that waterfall. It's not easy going. Bare feet or shoes, rocks are slippery. I'm gonna leave my shoes here because I want my hands to hold onto trees and stuff for handholds. Lots of roots down here. It's like under, I don't know what kind of tree this is. It might, it might be not a beech. It might be a hickory because it has that sort of diamond-shaped pattern on its bark. But it has some big old roots down here. These are all exposed by erosion and stuff. Working my way closer to that big clay pit, whatever it is. If you ever need bricks and you don't mind working for them, there are like full bricks out here. You can make some cool structures out of them with fire pits and stuff. And here we go. We are inside this sort of crevice in the jungle between all these tree roots. It sort of looks like Indian caves up in Indiana. But, oh, I think this is something I put in here years and years ago to test how deep it was. So, we got this old signpost that was already down here, and that's coming back towards me. There it goes. So that's pretty deep water, I believe. I'm not getting in there. It could have like undertow and suck me down somehow. But this is all clay. And it's a really cool color of clay. It sort of looks like I'm on the moon right now. The like sort of off, like sort of like cheesy white color. I'm going to have to probably take this path up, find my way over there. So phone off for a minute. All right, okay, it's cooler up here. Let me turn the camera so you can see it better. There's like a little run of like a big chute of water going down through the clay. It's eroded its way down. So that's where we just were down there, and that water sort of goes up through this big chute in the clay. It's eroded its way down through the cliffs. Like the water used to be all the way up there, I imagine, and it's just eating its way through the clay to make this big chute. I'm going to get down there a bit closer so you can have a better look. All right, this is pretty. And we have an actual little, tiny of course, but still a little run of waterfalls here, all going through the clay. This would be a nice place to meditate, but I think a bit too dirty to really enjoy it. I can see way up there, there's a pipe, so I'm going to get closer just so we see that little exit. I'm standing in the waterfall now, and makes a lot of noise. I always forget how loud water is when it's moving through sort of passages in the rock and clay. But anyway, we're getting our way up towards the entrance or the exit of the pipe. All my handholds here are just roots and things. I'm all tangled up right now. Oh, here's something probably very few people have seen. We have Sunny plus RTC. Maybe it says Bonnie. It probably says Bonnie. Bonnie plus Rick. Looks like Bonnie plus Rick. So if you are Bonnie and Rick, leave a comment or something. I don't know. That's pretty cool. But not many people get out here to see this. Oh, I don't know what all this green netting is. It's part of this sort of sausage-shaped thing. I don't know what a lot of this is. I have not been to this part of the Graham Woods before. There's lots of concrete that's fallen. I'm going to get closer. There's a tow-away sign up there, tow-away zone. I imagine if you manage to park here, they will have one hell of a time towing you away. Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's not a metal sign. Otherwise, I could have taken this. Yep, no parking tow-away zone. By order of UFPD. That's going down here. So, challenge of the video is park some vehicle here. But anyway, it is still raining right now. Actually, heavier than when I was in the storm drain. I was amazed at how much water those things collect from a wide area, because I was in there, it was a very light rain, and there was water going everywhere. Now, there's probably a construction dude up there who might be able to see me, but it doesn't matter, I'm not trespassing. And here's a stick that I do not want to grab. Look at this, that's all little thorns growing along it. It might be some sort of it looks sort of like a very big dog fennel, but it might be devil's walking stick. In any case, I'm going to make my way to that entrance without grabbing that stick. And I'm actually not going that way. All those rocks are very unstable. This water is pretty deep. I don't want to fall in. Doesn't look too clean. I'm going to take this little bridge through the middle, work my way up around there. All right, rocks are slippery. I'm hoping this is a stable one. I don't want to drop my phone in this water. It'd be hard to find it. There's so much dirt moving around. All right. This is very, very slippery. Not a huge fan of that. I don't mind going on slippery surfaces, but I don't like it when there are rocks under me or my phone is suspended over deeper water than it is rated for. But I'm back on this sort of jetty, and we're gonna have a look inside that pipe. Okay, quick diversion. Oh, holding onto a tree so I don't fall. This rock has a bunch of little fossils in it. So it formed around shells and made fossils or imprints of them. That's pretty cool. And I'm here inside this pipe. It's not concrete, it's some sort of other material. It's hard to see inside, just poking the phone in, so I just climbed into it. It's still raining outside. There's a lot of water going past my feet, but it's not a dangerous amount. Big pipe. Despite my experience just now getting stuck in one of these, I'm going to climb up it and have a look. All right, not much light, folks, but we're almost there. The wire down here, and here we are. I don't know how deep this is, but we're back in some sort of drain system again. All this water is coming out through the pipe I'm in. So I do not feel the floor down there. I'm not going to dip in there again. I'm just going to turn around and go out the pipe. I may return when it's not raining. I might not. We will see. I've climbed in probably enough pipes for the start of my channel. 3 or 4 is more than enough, I believe. All right, and here we are, back at the exit. I will make my way back to where my shoes are, and we'll pick up from there. We're not to my shoes yet. I just want to take a shot of this sort of ravine thing we're going through, because it looks pretty cool to me. It does all look like moon rock, but that's just very hard clay. All right, so I fell down this slope, jammed my foot on this rock down here. But fortunately, I had one hand on this tree, so I did not go straight into that deep water with a metal pole in it. Always an adventure getting around slippery surfaces. Whew. All right, I'm almost back in the shoes. Then we're going to go down the other direction of the river. It might come out near that storm drain I was at a few videos ago. Might not, we'll see. I've returned to my shoes. Still here. Bit more wet. It is raining. But I'm going to get past this big rock pile and move off down the other side of the stream. My feet will thank me for it. Rocks are not making them happy. All right, I'm at the river. I need to find my way through this deep water. I think I'm just going to go along this side. Try not to step on that fork. It's floating in the water. Phone off, I think. I'll hold my shoes in one hand. I want the other hand sort of free for grabbing onto a plant if I start to fall down. All right, I'm more or less through that. And the river gets shallower again here. Lots of pointy rocks, but it is quite shallow now. So I can relax. I don't need to worry about slipping into 3 or 4 foot deep water and dumping my phone. So, been quite an adventure so far today, but I still want to see where this river goes. I'm thinking it might come out near the tennis courts or near Keys. And we're back on nice soft sand. That feels wonderful under my feet. Okay, go turn the camera around and we'll keep going. It seems I say this in almost every video where I'm in a river or a stream, but this reminds me of that second Jurassic Park movie where the one guy, Dieter, he gets chased down by the tiny dinosaurs. Speaking of that, we got little raccoon footprints. Tiny dinosaurs, like raccoon-sized ones, but they were poisonous, and he gets just like bodied in a river. It looks like this. I don't know what's going on here. We got a bunch of big plants. It looks like someone's come out with a stick and just destroyed them. Or maybe they got poisoned. I don't know. They're not looking happy though. Anyway, yeah, this river reminds me of that scene in Jurassic Park where the guy dies in the river. So, not a great thought as I'm walking down it, but it's cool being in places that could be, if the garbage was cleaned out of them, that could be movie sets. There's a lot of weird stuff out here. There's lots of like weird trash, bags hanging from trees. It's like lots of broken stuff, bags of plastic everywhere. But while it's raining like this, it's a very interesting place to be. No fishing to be had, unfortunately. I'm not much of a fisherman myself, but it would be cool to have a place close to campus where you could catch fish. There's not many, it seems like. As I walk down this river, let me clean the camera off. As I walk down this river, I'm sort of thinking to myself of that man who walked over the big drainage grate when I was inside the storm drain while it was raining. That man just looked down and saw me next to like this waterfall, and I gave him a thumbs up and he was just like, huh, okay, and he moved on. I'm very happy I didn't encounter some do-gooder who's like, oh no, I'll call the cops and get you out. I'll be like, oh no, I'm going to get arrested. I'm not sure if I think it's pretty legal to be in a storm drain, but I'm very happy I got to get out of there on my own without any assistance, unwanted assistance. There's one story I overtell, like very much overtell, is, I got stuck on a stick. When I was in Israel, I was hiking through the Carmel National Forest there. Lots of trails intersect there. There's the INT, which I was on, is their national trail. There's the Jesus Trail somewhere around there. There's a few others. They all have blazes, so there's not much landscape like this, but if there was, on that tree there'd be like 2 or 3 lines of different colored paint. That's how you know what trail you're on. And so I sort of got lost in there. I was running out of food. I only had like a can of tuna or something and like a piece of bread that I picked up off the ground. And I tried to take the shortest path to a village. On Google Maps, it looked like it was just less than half a kilometer, like sideways. Unfortunately, it did not take terrain into account. That kilometer or half a kilometer is right up a cliff, covered in thorny bushes. So I spent 2 hours. Once I climbed up like 100 feet, I could not climb down. It was too steep, too much gravel. I would have slipped and fallen. I spent like 2 hours pulling my way up through thorn bushes. I got really scraped up, but I came out, climbed a fence, and I was in the town. And I immediately ate like a pound of brownies to replenish my energy, which was what I wanted. The stores in Israel are all like very, very compact supermarkets. They have everything you need. You always know what's in there. I wish we had more of that here instead of just trashy gas station food. Like you walk into a gas station sized store in Israel, you could get enough stuff for a very healthy diet. Anyway, I need to have both hands because I need to keep going. Well, one hand's busy. So I'm going to switch off here. And I never think about this, sorry, crossing a log. There's lots of birds at UF. I was never a bird watcher. I think they are not similar enough to humans or different enough to be interesting. They're birds. They sort of flap around and squawk. I like animals that are more exciting. But somewhere in these woods, I saw it come by earlier, is a big old hawk. So if we see the hawk, I will try to get him on camera for you. Let's go under this little, very low-hanging tree. Okay, this is fun. We got looks like a bromeliad, which is, it's not really parasitic. It just grows on the tree, and it catches lots of nutrients by itself, sort of like Spanish moss. Bromeliads, the upright ones, to gather tons of water inside them, like inside the little bulb area here. And in the jungles, you have actual whole ecosystems inside the big one of these, like the frogs and fish and little bugs that live inside the water there. So that's pretty cool. If you ever see one of these, don't tear it off the tree. It's good for the tree, or at least it's like neutral for the tree. And it's good for biodiversity and stuff. So let's get over this tree, and we will keep going. More of this plant. I don't know if it's fire flag or gator flag or what, and it's just been wrecked. I don't know what's doing it. It's not me, I swear. It looks like it's like wilting and all the leaves are just dying. I don't know what's going on there, but it may be an indicator species, which is like some species are very sensitive to pollution. So if this water is not clean, which I hope it is because my feet are bare, if the water is not clean, some plants may die a lot faster than others. And some plants, like saw palmetto, just don't seem to care. Story about this sort of plant actually. I don't know if it was this exact species or just one similar. When they're healthy, they are bright green. They have a big thick stalk, like a very celery's larger cousin. And I once picked off one of the stalks once. I thought, oh, this looks like celery. I took a bite. It was related to well, it was a plant species that has something called oxalate in its cells, which is sort of like little tiny pieces of fiberglass. So for 10 minutes, I could like barely breathe. My throat was burning. Then I was fine. Through the trees here, it looks like we are near the edge of the woods. I could get out here, but I want to follow this river fork and keep going till the end. I think I may come out near, oh, it's deeper. Oh, very deep. I think I may come out near the tennis fields, tennis courts. So let's see if we do. If you see me eating anything like a plant on this channel, don't just assume you could do it. I do have a degree in forestry. I know which ones are safe, and I have, even so, I have still picked the wrong ones occasionally and had unhappy times. So, oh, rocks. Don't be stupid. Don't eat stuff that you don't know what it is. And that's just, unless you're in like a foreign country, it's their actual food. Don't pick stuff in the woods and eat it. You never know what you're gonna get. We're coming up on like a very narrow bit of the river here. This oh, I see what's happened. So this is a tree that's fallen down, and when trees fall down, a lot of times they tear their roots up with them, and a lot of stuff comes up with the roots. So if we get on the other side, we will see what has happened. The tree does not, might not be fully dead, but it has. Oh, my legs are stuck in the vine right now. Shit. Okay, I'm just sitting on this little log for the moment. This tree has fallen down. The roots go all the way over my head, and so you see broken bits of roots where it was attached to the ground. And this is what's under a tree, folks. You get big roots that they branch into lots of smaller ones. One just went in my mouth. They will go microscopically small, I believe, and that's how they get all their nutrients out of the soil. The leaves are for getting sunlight and gas exchange and stuff, and roots get all the nutrients down here. Cool. We got a big double tree here. I don't know if it was one big tree that got struck by lightning or eaten by the bug and it's split up into two, but it's a cool double tree. It's always fun to see interesting bits of nature growing. And there's more stuff out here. This might be a tupelo, but it's a buttressed tree. So it goes up straight, but at the bottom it has this big old buttress where it bows out into a bigger trunk. And that helps keep it stable in the water, I guess. It's cool to find stuff like that. Okay, it's getting dark. I'm going to try to get out of here as soon as possible because I'm cold and wet and dirty. Gonna have to do another wash. All right, we're in a place now that has a higher leaf area index. That is a measure of how much of the sunlight is covered by trees. Oh, that was deep water. Covered by trees' leaves. I sort of stepped into a pothole. Above me is a lot of sable palmetto, and its leaves are fronds. Technically it might be like part of the branch or something. They're more related to grass than trees, but all of the light is getting covered up right now. It's sort of hard to see. It's like I've walked into a whole new environment where it's all shady and gloomy. So that's fun. Alternatively, it may have just gotten darker outside. I can't tell. I'll know once I'm out. But here we go. We got a much wider stream here and lots of plants overhanging it. This is one of the more interesting environments I've been in. It's very, very jungly, and jungle is something I am interested in. I've never, except for Israel, I've never really been in the desert. But I spent some time in the jungle in Thailand, Malaysia, Borneo, the rest of Indonesia. Unfortunately, I tried to do a bike ride across Indonesia and Borneo, and I got robbed about 2 weeks out in my sleep. Nothing traumatic, just woke up, my bags were gone. And the worst part was I was like 2 days away from one of the massive rainforests out there. I would have loved to see that. So my goal is save some money and get back out there after I do this hike. We have come to a big roadblock, or a stream block as it was. I'm going to go around through this muddy, not very appealing looking section of the river, but I do see a hall up ahead. It looks like it is Trussler or Graham Hall, so we will get out soon. All right, and this is not a hospitable area. My foot is just sunk into that up to the ankle. That's silt. Oh, it smells bad too. This is like a swamp. I want to get to that shallow water. Oh, it's hard to pull up. Okay. Oh, it has released like some swamp stench. A lot of the times under mud like that, no oxygen gets down, so different organisms that are anoxic will start to do their work, and they make some nasty smells. So if you ever smell something bad in a swamp, no one farted. It's just something is bubbling up from under the soil. All right, folks, I think this marks the end of our journey. I'm here at the storm drain I went into a few days ago. And also, if you look up there, those are the cliffs I almost fell off when I was peeing. I'm happy I went here. This was it's a rainy day, but it's quite an interesting bit of river right in the middle of Graham, which is right in the middle of campus. So if you're ever out here, this is here. It exists. You can have a very wet, interesting hike through this sort of jungly forest. You could film videos out here. You could do whatever you want. Hopefully on a day when the weather is kinder. But it's been nice exploring this with you folks, and peace. Have a good night. All right, everyone. I hope it doesn't fly away. There is a hawk on top of this sign. I'm going to walk up to him slowly. Okay. A bit closer. He doesn't seem to give a shit. Oh, and there he goes, off into the sunset. Okay, folks, that's the real end of this video. See you later.